This is just sort of a advertisement and a heads up for some of the most successful things that have come out of the AbGradCons in the past. It's something to keep your mind on while you're at AbGradCon, meeting new people, just some of the important things that you can do after AbGradCon to keep this experience going and to help yourself be a better astrobiologist. So I'm going to be talking about astrobiology journal clubs, collaborations, and also looking for organizers for next year. So, why form an online journal club? One of the main reasons is astrobiology is a hugely diverse field, and it is hard to be an expert in all of those. But it is nice to be familiar with what's happening in the field, the other fields of astrobiology, as it helps to drive your research as well too, because it's very interdisciplinary, and so all these fields tie into each other, and we're all trying to work on the same questions here. And so we don't want to be confused like Marty McFly out of time. We want to know what's going on when somebody's talking about geomicrobiology or astrochemistry. The other thing is that as astrobiologists in this field, we are often isolated and spread out across the country. So a lot of us are fortunate to be in large departments at like Georgia Tech, for example, or RPI even has a sizable growing department where you can have a lot of fellow graduate students that are working in the field too. But a lot of us, we're the only astrobiologists at the school. And so it's hard to find other astrobiologists to talk to and to communicate with and to keep up on what's going on in the field. And so if you form journal clubs based upon the people that you meet here, you can meet online and still have access to experts in the field and a fun way of talking and communicating about the fields that you work in. And so that's the second reason why to form an online journal club. And also you get to keep in touch and build friendships with some of the people that you meet here. So who knows, maybe you hate everybody you meet here and want nothing to do with them, but hopefully that's not the case. So, it's pretty easy. You get together with, I don't know, like 4 to 5 people. Our journal club that I'm in right now, I think has 8 people in it. But you get together and they're like, hey, want to form a journal club? Sure. The easiest thing you can do is just use some software down the line. Google Plus is what we currently use as it works best for us. You're able to share PowerPoint slides. You can see videos of everybody there. Google Plus supports up to 10 people, which we just learned the hard way a couple weeks ago. But as long as your journal club is that size or less, you're perfectly okay. We've also used Skype, and I believe it went completely free now. So I think you can do teleconferences there through Skype with a 10-person limit as well. And if your school has access to Adobe Connect, that's how we initially started. So you can do Adobe Connect as long as you're up to date with the software. It works quite well. We had some problems with our older version, which is why we switched over to Google+. But get the people, form an online community, and you can format your journal club however you want for these online tools. And here's just a quick sampling of the diversity of the journal club talks that we have had. And so we'll talk about genetic polymers, dealing with the RNA world. We deal with modeling environments on Europa. I believe that was yours, Mason. Biosignatures, sulfur isotope geochemistry. And so it's a very diverse field. And I'd be completely lost looking at some of these papers myself. So it's nice having experts in these fields to walk us through and to ask questions. And it's actually, it's a fun time. It takes less than an hour, have a great question back and forth, and can cover all of these topics and whatever else you want to. So I recommend finding people, forming a journal club. You can do it either here or try to track down some people at the collaboration time tomorrow. Also, if you're having trouble meeting people, if you're somewhat shy, you can come talk to me. I'll be collecting a list of people that will want to do journal clubs as well, and I'll share the list with everybody, and you can form journal clubs through that. And also, Sanjay Sam, who I believe is watching right now, who's in charge of SaganNet, They also allow journal clubs and promote them through SagaNet, so he'll be talking about that feature on Wednesday as well. And so you can definitely funnel your journal clubs through the online astrobiology social networking as well. But form your own clubs, come talk to me, or work on SagaNet. 3 great ways to try to track down journal clubs. Also, we have had a lot of collaborations that come out of AbGradCon. So if you see some talks that you're quite interested in and think that working together could help to further your research or their research, feel free to walk up to the person and just talk to them about working together. A lot of collaborations come out of AbGradCon, and it's pretty great because we're not experts all in all the fields. So I started a collaboration a couple years ago with some scientist, Lori Barge from JPL. And last year I presented on the results of our collaboration. So I work on RNA synthesis, and she works on forming hydrothermal vents at the bottom of the ocean floor. So we looked at whether or not we could synthesize RNA in her hydrothermal systems. And so she came to our lab for 2 weeks in February a couple years ago and built these small little chimneys in our lab and taught us how to do it as well too. So these are iron sulfide chimneys representing some serpentinization systems on the bottom of the ocean floor. I ran some RNA synthetic reactions through it and analyzed the results, as this is what I'm an expert in, and actually saw some RNA that formed from the chimneys, which we are about to publish in a paper, I'd say within a month. That's what we're targeting right now. It's all written. We're just about to start shopping it around. So it's cool. And this is not something that I could have done without talking to her at Caltech a couple years ago and forming this collaboration. And so if it's something that you're interested in, NASA actually funds through the Astrobiology Institute these collaborative projects as well. So there's an astrobiology program early career collaboration award. And this is an award that will give you $5,000 for traveling between sites to conduct your work. And it's specifically targeted at our group here, at early career scientists. You can get the award from undergrads through junior scientists. So if you're a postdoc or just starting out, this is something that you're eligible for. It's easiest to get the award if you have 2 NAI team members matched up, or if one of you is a hub, but they still allow it to go through participating members. And when we applied to this, they were very excited that we applied to it, and so I think that they're always looking for teams to supply this funding to. The deadlines for submitting this request is April 1st and October 1st. And so October 1st is right around the corner. So right now is a perfect time to get together, develop a research plan. Yeah, Brett? Oh, I see. Thought you had a question. To develop a research plan and submit a proposal. So you can either search for the Early Career Collaboration Award, or there's this URL, which you probably don't have time to copy down right now, but it's very easy to find through a Google search. So go on there, submit your request, and get money and fly and see collaborators. Also, oh, and if you have any more questions about the collaboration stuff, you can talk to me directly as well too, as I went through the process, and I can share my experience with what happened for that. And also, keep in mind during this conference that somebody in this room is going to have to plan it for next year. So if you're sitting there and think that this is something you want to do, if you have way too much free time or never feel like you have enough emails to go through, totally step up and decide to be a collaborator. So this is something, we're going to have a meeting tomorrow during the collaboration time. Come up, find me or another organizer and say you're interested, and we will try to get you guys in touch with each other to form a very preliminary committee. So our committee last year out of AbGradCon, I believe had like 15 members on it coming out. It eventually got weeded down over the course to, I think 8 to 10 is what our size is right now. And so if you're just remotely interested, come on, get on board, talk to them, and you can always, drop out later if you decide that it's too much work for you. But definitely keep it in mind, if you want to plan it, if you want to have it at your school, collaboration time, figure this out, and we'll get this going next year. What they've done at previous AbGradCons is they have announced the site that is going to be for the following year by the end of AbGradCon. So that's always a cool thing. So if you guys are really on top of things, we can do that announcement on Wednesday. And remember, if nobody volunteers, this is not going to happen. So we've had 10 years running here. Pretty good. It would be a shame if it did not happen. So get together, make it happen, find some people, choose a site. If I'm voting, I'm going to choose either Hawaii or Spain. So that would be awesome. I know we have these might actually happen. We do have some people we know who might work at Hawaii that could host it there. And some people from Spain were interested in hosting it there for our committee that we formed last year. So maybe keep dreams alive. And so exchange emails, find us, and form the committee and make it happen. All right, and that's it. That's all I got. Quick blurbs. Any, you can clap if you want, sure. Any overall questions right now? Oh, Brett's got the mic.
I'll just say
Tim.
I'll just say as a previous organizer, thank you, Bradley, and the organizing committee for doing it this year for us. And it is a good experience overall. It's great to have on your CV. It gives you a lot of appreciation for administrative support. And one other thing I will say is that over the last few years, we've kind of established a pattern where like we have it in the U.S. one year and then maybe outside the U.S. and inside the U.S. And so there is a precedent set for having AbGradCon outside of the U.S. I mean, obviously you need to have people on the ground that are organizing, but yeah, this Spain thing has been talked about for a few years now, and I think it might be the right time to do it.
Yes. Oh, and what Tim said there is exactly right. So Kristen and I doing this, it became like minor MVPs of our little team here for doing it. They're very excited. Your PIs will love you if you bring a conference to your school.
It looks great on grant renewals.
Uh-huh, yep. And we're both up for renewal right now, our schools are.
Is AbGradCon always this time of the year, like late July?
It's typically been in the summer months as it's easier for the grad students to travel there. One thing is we have partnered it with AbGradCon before, and AbGradCon's happening June? It's happening June next year in Chicago. So it is possible that the organizers will decide to pair it up, find somebody local, and attach it either before or after AbGradCon in June. But we do typically aim for the summer months.
Thanks.
Or you could just fly to Chicago on your way to Hawaii.
Yes.
All right, we need to move on, so let's thank Bradley again.
Thank you.